This is the KhoodeelaarTVChannel television channel, broadcasting under the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo Manifesto for Animals and Humans. This one is timed at 0840 GMT on Tuesday, 12th of March 2024. There is a rare piece in the Murdoch Times of Tuesday, 12th March 2024. It's an opinion column by William Hague, which says death of local papers threatens democracy, which is absolutely death of local papers threatens democracy. This is a cliche. Local papers never, ever represented independent opinion, journalism, independent of their owners. The local papers in England, Little England, have always been owned and controlled and fashioned and edited and commissioned and biased against local communities. So this is a lie that William Hague is peddling. Death of local papers. The local papers never were local. They're locally based, but serving the narrative, the agenda, the purpose of those who don't care about the local communities. For example, in the East End of London, Tower Hamlets, there has always been a locally based news outlet. The current one just about is a tenuous link, tenuous title called East London Advertiser. And I called it more than 30 years ago, East London Idiotizer. Advertiser and idiotizer sound very similar. And the verb transitive is idiotizing the people. It's commercially fleecing. And it's in the context of the demographic composition of the last 150 years. The East London idiotizer has always been fiercely racist, pro-imperialist. And in the current climate, let's say of the last 70 years, it is fiercely anti-Muslim. So we shall be examining the meaning of this phrase, death of local papers, and threat and democracy. In the case of baby angel Geronimo in South Gloucestershire, Gloucestershire carried DEFRA propaganda during 2021 and before against baby angel Geronimo. And the local Gloucestershire Live was lies. To this day, Gloucestershire Lies has not corrected the lies it printed against baby angel Geronimo. And what is William Hague's highlight? He says people are crying out for responsive local leadership and services. William Hague is a liar. He has not advocated responsible, truthful local representation by the local councils or locally elected members of parliament, including himself. He is being paid by dirty digger Rupert Murdoch. And what it is doing is actually having a go at the BBC, this particular one. I am now a supporter of the BBC. But on balance, there has to be objectivity. Now let's see the first paragraph of William Hague's piece of lies. When I was first elected to Parliament, in a hard-fought by-election in 1989, the most important media event of my week was the publication of the local paper, the Darlington and Stockton Times, selling tens of thousands of copies per week. Its editorials and letters pages set the local agenda and kept candidates on their toes. If we debated the future of farming, the knowledge and policies of each candidate were analyzed at great length. If we made an error about local health care, that would be rapidly exposed. A strong local paper was the mainstay of debate and accountability. Quite apart from ensuring that everyone knew whose sheep had won top prize at the show and what the Women's Institute had discussed in the village hall. The Darlington and Stockton Times still exists, although it has lost its adverts from the front, gone tabloid, and seen its print run fall to a fraction of what it was. It has hung on, but overall the landscape of local papers is a scene of utter devastation, with most titles dead or dying. When Britain holds a general election this year, few of the candidates will need to worry about an authoritative local paper holding them to account. Out of 380 local authority districts, 209 had a daily local paper in 2007, but only 142 still had one in 2019, and that figure will be much lower now. The arrival of social media has brought a sudden death syndrome for local news. Figures published last month by Press Gazette suggest the main publishers remain revenues fell by more than 80% when adjusted for inflation in 15 years. The number of local journalists beavering away at the deeds and misdeeds of councils, MPs and civic leaders fell from around 13,000 to 4,000. Many of those are now reduced to recycling police press releases and social media clickbait, trying to hit a target of several stories a day that are no longer the product of investigation and local knowledge. Of course, William Hague is a liar. He is fantasizing. The newspapers were never investigative, never independent, never giving platform to local opinion, local campaigns. There's an editorial, belated editorial, but it's still compromised editorial in the Times saying that Lee Anderson was always a risky recipient of political patronage, polarizing free opinion. Now, Lee Anderson is, of course, a nasty piece of work, racist, anti-Muslim, evilness personified. And there is a piece, it's a letter about Balfour from someone called Lexden, who is described as Conservative Party historian. Trinity College, Cambridge might have been expected to condemn rather than merely regret the serious damage done to its portrait of Arthur Balfour, a formidable Tory intellectual who was the conscientious Chancellor of Cambridge University for 11 years. Portrait of Balfour ripped and defaced by pro-Palestinian group March 9. The 1917 Balfour Declaration did not begin the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, as the Vandals assert. Its author envisaged no more than a small notch in what are now Arab territories being given to a people who for hundreds of years have been separated from them. He hoped for sympathetic goodwill on the part of Jew and Arab to develop their common home. What a load of absolute rubbish. The Murdoch Scum newspaper runs the front page splash, which is an opinion. Sun says, lay off Kate, stop bullying over edited picture. There is a piece about the lunacy of local councils on page 27 of this count. Sheila, aged 101, told to fill in road potholes. A woman of 101 was told to fill in potholes after locals complained about the road. Daily Mail is backing Kate Middleton. How did Kate photo become a PR disaster? Princess issues extraordinary mea culpa after picture she edited helped fuel wild conspiracy theories about her health. Well, these are not wild conspiracy theories at all. Her health is not in the best condition. And Richard Kay of the Daily Mail says trust and integrity are precious commodities. The public adore the royals, but that adoration rests on being told the truth, which is very significant. There is a piece by someone who interviewed Roald Dahl about his anti-Semitism and Roald Dahl's deep, dark hatred. We shall be continuing in the next bulletin.